Hey everybody, this is Perch. Um, the Marvel comic little mini series, although they're rarely called mini series, I think that term is more or less in the dumpster at this point. But the Marvel comic, the 4 or 5 issues that they'll put into something, and you get like a little taste of a story or a team, and then they'll do it again. And sometimes you get like with the Steve Orlando Scarlet Witch. It is, by the way, a monkey's paw kind of timeline where I was having this kind of robust conversation with someone. That's always a word to use when you don't want to say fight. It wasn't a fight, though. It was a passionate argument. Anyway, I was passionately arguing that if the plan was that you wanted to build up Scarlet Witch as a character because you want MCU synergy or you just like her as a character or there's things you can do or whatever else, then you need to and for whatever reason you've decided Steve Orlando is the king of the Scarlet Witch and that's who should write her for years, then you need to triple down on committing to Steve Orlando and stop screwing with him by rebooting the series. I think 4 times now. I think it's 4 times we're at. It just let it be a run, and I mean I'll make this argument kind of quickly. It is a whole other kind of video in itself. You dumbasses realize, you publishers realize, and I get kind of pissed and heated about this, that you can say on the cover, first issue of a new arc. And you could do that, and to the reader, to the person who's in the shop, it looks like a number one. You can even put more variant covers to it. You can do all kinds of shit to it. But when you cancel the book and restart it as a number one with variant covers, number one, to the customer, it's all the same. It legitimately is all the same. And to the retailer, it's annoying as fuck, and they don't order your book. Every time you cancel and reorder it, they go down, they look at the variant covers, they look and see if there's any artist on there they can potentially sell. It's like, is there an Art Adams or a Alex Ross variant cover? There's some people in my store who like that. And then they order off that. But every single time you do this, they decrease the orders. Every time. This isn't a guess. This isn't an imaginary theory. This is what retailers do. And if you dumbasses at Marvel pull your head out of your ass, you would see that. That is what they do. But anyway, the idea of just let them cook, for lack of a better word. Look, I don't think Steve Orlando doing a Scarlet Witch comic is going to do big numbers, and I don't think it's a particularly good comic, and I don't think including Darcy in it helps any. But if that's what you're committed to do, then commit to it and do it. The challenge that I have is that you have comics that are maybe passable, but you're for whatever reason you're going to keep churning them out, and you do this strategy of lots and lots of little miniseries. So even the ones that are good or bad or indifferent, all of them, they all get put into a category from the retailers. Who are the people ordering your books? Those are the people who are determining how many things are going to get sold or not. Ultimately, it's the customer who's buying things in the shop, but that first purchase, 2 to 3 months in advance, is coming from the retailer, and the retailer wants consistency, reliability, the ability to put something on the shelf and kind of not think about it, or that's what the retailer wants. The retailer, very, very few of them, go out and hustle for miniseries that are out there that they know that they're going to have to re-hustle every 2 months. So the retailer is going to attempt, with all the power that they have, to put the comic reader, to put the buyer into a book that they can kind of put in a pull box and forget about it. You can call this lazy. Very high-level Marvel editor, flat out at Comics Pro, called a retailer lazy for saying this. Like, if you're going to run a business, you actually have to run the business. Like, are you in run the business? Like, fuck you. Sorry. The retailers try to make money so the retailer can keep the lights on and pay the rent and, survive for another month. That's what they're trying to do. Don't sit there, with your fat ass and talk about how the retailer needs to get out there and hustle month after month for, whatever random book you've decided or not decided to put out. If a retailer puts in a bunch of effort to kind of, promote, you tell me, Thunderbolts, and you've decided as a company to give zero marketing or promotion to it and then stealth cancel it in 5 issues. Thank you very much. That so all of the retailers' hard work in getting those issues out is useless, and you've got them behind the 8 ball because they had to pre-order your stuff in advance by several months. Do you understand how you are making a absolute shit business environment for anyone to operate in? That is what you have done. Uh, anyway, to me this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Marvel Comics problem right now. It's I've done videos talking about kind of the malaise of it doesn't feel like they really know what's going on. Their events are listless. Their big titles are bad. But this idea that they actually have a huge content library of characters they can draw from, and they have a lot of creators who they have not fully pissed off yet, and who are willing to come back and do more work for them, and they put them into these tiny little 4 and 5 issue runs. And again, I think it's a terrible strategy, but if you're committed to that strategy, then the very least you can do, double down on it. Meaning put some effort, put some marketing toward it. Figure out a way to make it feel consistent. Send the retailers a message like, "Hey, we're going to do 3 or 4 years worth of Avengers themed series, and they're all going to be 5 issues, but we're going to put a common brand on the top of it, like that says Avengers, and so you will know that in your shop you can market it as stories of the Avengers." And maybe your readers are going to want to pick up Vision but not want to pick up Hawkeye or whatever. But at the very least, you're making it easier for them to buy your comics, which is the whole point, so they can then sell them to readers in some kind of consistent fashion and get ongoing revenue. That is the business. This isn't like magical marketing and business skill that I'm giving you right now. It is purely, merchandising 101. Like what kills me about so many of these decisions is that they're simple, they're obvious, and yet uh, I don't know. I should do this as a video for another time, but one thing that strikes me as amazing is, and for whatever reason, DC has plenty of people who are asleep at the wheel, who, if you're a comic creator, you cannot get them to get back to you in any kind of timely fashion at all. Like, it is still painful. They go and they completely throw up their hands at, impossible tasks like, showing up to a meeting on time or answering an email. These are beyond. These are not for not for mere mortals. Um, this Marvel has a level of just complete and absolute arrogance, and you see it for things like, when Nick Lowe is talking about Spider-Man, or Cebulski and Brevoort are patting themselves on the back for how much they understand youth. By the way, the echo chamber within Marvel of like, we understand youth, is amazing to me, when it is abundantly clear they do not understand kids, what they like to buy at fucking all. The idea that, a bunch of old, and by the way, why do they get a pass on this from Reddit and places? Why? You have a bunch of older white men, in theory, all straight white men, and we're willing to, I watch people absolutely go to the mat to promote and to defend and to justify every crazy ass thing that they do on Reddit. And yet, like, this is the poster child in many cases for toxic masculinity and problems. Why? I literally do not understand. Why are they getting a pass? And why did they believe and clap each other on the back for being amazing at writing, youth, when they're terrible at writing youth characters? They're proven to be awful at it. That I saw this survey, and I'll do this in another video, that talked about how the group that wants Spider-Man and MJ back together the most are the Gen Z and millennials of the comic writers. particularly the Gen Z. It's the youth. What is going on? Anyway, the miniseries things really bothers me because in some cases, those are where there's some really great stories. There's been some great stuff Peter David has done. There's been some great stuff, new and old creators have done in these little arcs, but they're set up for failure. They come out, and from the very first second they drop, they are irrelevant books, and I find that just staggering. But anyway, what would you do for these little comics? Delete them entirely? Could you market them? What would be your idea? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Have a good day.